first recipe is going to be a tofu scramble, and I was very surprised at how good this tasted because I'm so used to eating eggs. So I'm going to start off with some firm tofu. I like to dry out the tofu overnight by just leaving it in a coriander, or I don't know if that's what it is, but it just drains out all the juice and makes it a lot easier to cook with. Now for vegetables, I like to do mushrooms, grape tomatoes, and some spinach. I'm just going to prepare all of this, and then in a huge nonstick skillet, I'm going to put some avocado oil in it on medium-high heat and just saute my mushrooms first because the mushrooms take the longest to cook. Once that's complete, I'm going to take about 1 serving of tofu and just crumble it with my hands and kind of give it that like scrambled egg look. The key to this is to sprinkle some turmeric on it. That's what's going to give it that yellow egg color, which is really crazy. I also added a little bit of nutritional yeast in there for more flavor. And now I'm just adding in my veggies, and I'm going to saute that until everything is cooked to my liking. I also like to eat this with some vegan bagels. You can find any that you like. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that I sprinkle salt and pepper on this as well. And I'm going to also serve it with half of an avocado. And voila, protein packed, full of good nutrients, perfect balance of your fats, carbs, and veggies. My next one is a little bit non-conventional. This is like a sweet potato with fruits and peanut butter. It's weird, but it's good, trust me. So I'm going to bake some sweet potatoes. You should definitely do this the night before to save you time. I like to bake mine at 400 degrees for about 50 minutes. Once that's done baking, I'm going to just assemble my little sweet potato boat. I'm adding in some sliced bananas, fresh blueberries, and then I like to sprinkle a lot of cinnamon on it because I love cinnamon. And then I'm going to drizzle some natural melted peanut butter on top as well. Now, I completely forgot that this was a vegan breakfast video, so I drizzled honey on it by accident, but you can totally use maple syrup and it'll still taste delicious. Our third recipe is going to be a green tea frappuccino. For my base, I'm using half a cup of unsweetened almond milk. You can use any dairy-free milk that you like. I'm also going to add a splash of vanilla and 1 heaping teaspoon of matcha powder. And then 3 packets of stevia. You can use as much or as little as you like, depending on how sweet you like it. Then I'm going to add about half a cup to 1 cup of ice cubes, just depending on like how the texture comes out. It is going to be icy. It's not going to be like that super creamy frappuccino consistency because it is all natural ingredients. So I'm going to assemble this in a mason jar and use some coconut whipped cream, and then just dust a little bit of more matcha powder for show. My next one is going to be some delicious blueberry vegan pancakes. I was very surprised at how good these came out. So in a bowl, I'm going to mix in half a cup of whole wheat flour, 1 tablespoon of raw cane sugar, as well as 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a splash of vanilla, and half a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, as well as half a cup of almond milk and 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. Going to mix all of that well, and then I'm going to add about half a cup of blueberries. And this makes 1 serving, by the way, but it is really filling. In a pan, I'm just going to heat this on medium-high heat. I melted some more coconut oil in the pan, and I'm taking about like 2 heaping tablespoons of the mixture and just spreading it all over the pan. And once the bubbles have formed, you can go ahead and flip it over. After that, I'm just going to add some more blueberries on it, top it off with some coconut whipped cream because that makes everything delicious. And this time I went in with maple syrup. Are you proud of me? These are super fluffy, light, and delicious, and I know you will love them. Last but not least, we have just a very basic vegan yogurt bowl. I used the Silk soy yogurt, and this is surprisingly very good. So I like to add berries to my yogurt for some reason because the yogurt is actually pretty sweet already, and I kind of like that balance between like the tartness and the sweetness. So I'm going to top this off with some fresh strawberries, some blueberries, and granola. The granola I'm using is by Nature Valley, and this one is really good. It's super crunchy, and I like how there's big chunks in it as well, not just like a bunch of little itty bitty pieces. But that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know which one was your favorite, and I will see you in my next one.